You're listening to The Big Story with Danish on NWR Live. Now, time and again, Congress, and this time Rahul Gandhi has talked about something which in a lot of countries people don't talk about it. Use of words like fascism, usage of a leader of that time, Hitler. Now, Narendra Modi has been compared by Rahul Gandhi to Hitler. To talk about it, we have National Spokesperson of the BJP, Meenakshi Lekhi. Ma'am, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I remember speaking to you when this entire controversy had started regarding fascism, and you said quite a few things about it. Now again, this topic is again coming out. A comparison of Rahul Gandhi visits Gujarat and does the comparison of Narendra Modi to Hitler. Now, if I remember, BJP's stand is quite clear. They say that the biggest Hitler which India has witnessed is Indira Gandhi. So how would you react to it?
No, my reaction is very simple. I think these issues are brought out when they have nothing else, and they have lost the complete ground, and everybody knows they have manipulated the history. They have manipulated banned books. I mean, Red Sari was a book on his mother, which was banned, and the history of his own grandfather is what I think he needs to read a bit more, because as per the news reports, his grandfather fought with, he was a soldier, a special soldier, because there was a special section of specially trained soldiers, Mussolini's army. And I used to remember the name of the corps also in which he worked. And that gentleman fought next with Hitler in the War of Wehrmacht. So I think a family which has a history of Hitlerian tendencies and have in fact worked with them should not be speaking about others, because had Mr. Modi been Hitler, then I'm sure people like Mr. Gandhi and others who have been managing and manipulating the media, they could not have done that.
So, do you feel that it's so easy to use words like fascism and Hitler in Indian context?
No, it just shows. You see the two ways of looking at it. One is that person is actually illiterate, doesn't understand the words, doesn't know the meaning, has done no reading. That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that you are too astute. You are the real Goebbels who are floating the false messages about others, and you don't give credit to the word itself, and you can loosely use it against anyone who you despise.
And what about when it's said that in the times of emergency, that was the situation when...
You see, that's what I'm saying. In the history of modern India, if anyone has any knowledge, would know that fundamental rights of all the citizens were suspended and were taken away. People were not just put behind bars, but several murders and so many things happened, and it was all state-sponsored, and because of that, there was a commission called Shah Commission. Not Nanavati Shah, but Shah Commission, which was started to go look into the atrocities of emergency. That report was not even tabled, and they actually saw to it that Shah Commission's report got destroyed. And I know of it because of the fact that somebody from my own family was the prosecutor.
And when Rahul Gandhi visits Gujarat, and this was the second time, or probably the first time when he visited after the dates have been declared. Now he clearly talks about that nothing has actually happened. Whatever has happened have happened for few, 10 to 15 industrialists, and it's their houses which are shining. The rest of Gujarat is still in the complete darkness which is there. When he went and spoke to the workers who work in the salt manufacturing industry.
Now I can only laugh about the person and say that the people of Gujarat have answered it thrice. Do you want more answers? I'm sure the Gujarat performance is going to be repeated by the people of this country. And just wait for 1.5, 2 months to get the answers to all your queries.
So then, is it? I mean, that's the only thing left for the Congress party to...
Absolutely. They are a sinking ship. Even the rats have started leaving them. So there's no way they can stay afloat. They can only get some media coverage by talking nonsense, and that is what they are doing, and showing their own shallowness more than anything else. And And I think it's a very stupid strategy for the simple reason whenever they will talk about somebody's fascism, people will pull out the data against his own family. His grandmother, the paternal grandmother called Indira Gandhi, and maternal grandfather who was working in the Mussolini army. So that will be repeatedly pulled out with dates and details.
A lot of youngsters who will be the first time voters, and these are the things, or the second time.
I think first time voters are very smart. First time voters are really smart. They are not going to buy into these kind of gimmicks, because I have been interacting with a lot of youngsters, and they actually may have some very serious questions. They may have some confusions, but they are willing to find the answers and go to the facts. So those who don't know the facts about emergency will go and find out the facts about emergency, and they will all know that a country, an autocrat, or an autocratic prime minister can actually suspend the fundamental rights of citizens, and that is the kind of danger this family has put India through.
So when we talk about Hitler and or the entire ideology of fascism, do you think can it be put into Indian context?
No, Indian context is very, very clear. You see, the gentleman doesn't know the word, doesn't know the meaning of fascism, doesn't know the meaning of, or doesn't want to recall the history, and can continue to talk about Hitler with this ease. I think if Jews have to be compared, then Hindus of this country need to be compared with the history of Jews anywhere. Because if Jews were annihilated, has anyone written the history of Hindus? How Hindu genocide has been happening for centuries? I think I would ask Mr. Gandhi to appoint a commission on that.
And is it right to what he's doing of doing a comparison?
It is tearing the fabric. You see all these kinds of, but I think that is not the area of interest. The area of interest is no botheration with fabric. There is no botheration with the with the fundamentals on which a country should be working. There's something very, very apparent and clear, and that sinister motive is that somewhere, this particular family needs to be saved. Whether you create AAP, whether you break the fiber of this country, whether you use communal violence, you do anything, appeasement to violence to whatever. Only this family's interest needs to be protected. Rest, everyone can be ducked and chucked.
So you feel this is just before the elections? We have another less than 100 days.
Elections are very relevant. Elections are very relevant for the simple reason people are fed up with the system of governance. 60 years of misgovernance this country has gone through. But it just can't continue any longer.
No, I'm trying to say that before the elections, the Congress party wanted to bring in the communal violence bill. Now now talking about Hitler. So do you think is it?
That's right. Those are fascist acts. The fascist acts are that anybody who speaks against you, put that person behind bars, and that is what they have done. The way you manipulate the legal system. Ishrat is dead and gone. She was a terrorist. The government files 10,000-page dockets to the Pakistan. You can continue with all that. How many lies? How many lies? It doesn't matter to you what the truth is. What matters is rhetoric and sloganeering, and that too on serious issues like fascism, Hitler. And if a Hitler is working in a country, is this not against India? Is this not against the fact that a chief minister of an independent India can be abused in this fashion? Is that not an abuse on the democracy which this country follows?
Is it, when because you're an advocate yourself, ma'am, do you think is it unconstitutional to call a head of a state in terms like...
That is my point, because that is against the democratic norms of a country. He's a democratically elected chief minister. is a prime ministerial candidate, and very soon, all you may know, he will be the prime minister of this country. Using this language is not just unconstitutional, illegal, but shows the malaise that you don't even care how you're projecting India. How is a fascist working in a country and that you call democracy?
How would you react to this when in the AICC meet, Rahul Gandhi told that all the national spokesperson or the state spokesperson of the Congress shouldn't talk about the opposition leaders with harsh words and use unconstitutional parliamentary language?
It just shows what you preach, you don't practice.
Because Salman Khurshid also did the same.
Yeah. Salman Khurshid was worse. But shows who he is more than anything else. Shows what these people stand for.
Do you feel that going abroad, studying in England and coming back and using such language, because both of them did go to England and study?
No, just shows they are British. Just shows they can abuse the country, and they really don't care about the country. They can exploit Indians and Indianhood. That is what British did, and that is what these two gentlemen are proving to do.
Right. Ma'am, I want to thank you for taking out the time and coming on to the program. Thank you very much. Bye. So that was national spokesperson of the BJP joining us and talking about who is the Hitler. And that is the controversy, and that's the situation which Rahul Gandhi has steered again, calling Narendra Modi as one. But you heard it. In the words of Meenakshi Lekhi, don't go anywhere, there's a lot which is going to happen. You too can be part of this discussion by simply tweeting us. Our handle is @NWR_live. Write your mails to contact@nwrlive.com. And you're listening to The Big Story with Danish.